Andy Johnson. We are looking at motivating students to read. We know that is important because motivated students will read more. Volume of reading is related to improvements in comprehension, vocabulary, fluency, all sorts of things. The first part is self-efficacy. You believe that you can do it. Students who believe that they can do something are motivated to do that thing. If they believe that they actually can read, they will be more motivated to read. However, some of our students have learned failure. Why? Because we fail them. We give them practice in failure. That's what they learn. We don't teach them. We confuse them. We give them all sorts of meaningless instruction, an overabundance of phonics instruction, which is abstract and not meaning-based. As well, we give our students material and instruction that is above them, not within their zone of proximal development. Hence, they get frustrated. They learn that they can't do it. To improve self-efficacy, the belief that you can do something, you want to teach at the instructional level and use scaffolding. Scaffolding is something that allows students to read just above where they're at, above their independent level. Don't teach failure. Self-efficacy, zone of proximal development. Vygotsky uses scaffolding of some sort to enable them to succeed, to engage in authentic literacy activities. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But value. Students must find reading of interest or of value. And again, if you force them to read mush, they're not going to value that reading. If you don't have lots of exciting, interesting books, both expository and narrative texts at a variety of levels and genres, how in the dickens, pardon my language, do you expect them to fall in love with books, to value that act of reading? Nobody values things that bores them and frustrates them. A teacher's number one job is to help children fall in love with books. After that, 90% of instruction takes care of itself. Nothing ruins reading like reading book reports. Nothing enhances reading, motivates reading like book talks. A book talk is simply 15 seconds to 2 minutes where a student stands up, tells about a book that they liked, he or she liked, and gives a little commercial. This is a great book because. Now, reading class has to be, it should be enjoyable. Not all the time, but much of the time. It doesn't have to be boring. And the last one, the types of tasks that you give students actually influence their motivation. It was found that open-ended tasks where students are in control of the process, how they go about it, and the product creates more motivation. How you want to read, that's process, and how you want to demonstrate your reading, that is product. Close-ended tasks where a teacher controls the process, now do this, step 1, step 2, and the product, you must find the author's point of view. That leads to less motivation. Now, that doesn't mean all activities have to be closed, open-ended, and not all activities need not be, double negative, close-ended tasks, but err on the side of open-ended tasks. And here's the thing of open-ended tasks. All students can succeed at their level. Higher level students will take an open-ended task and make it more complex. The most reliable indicator of students' motivation is not the approach or the program, but the type of tasks students are asked to do. And if you understand Bloom's taxonomy, you can create open-ended tasks using Bloom's action words.